ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Couch Coaches with Mac and Ryan. Let's go! Hello, everybody. Welcome to Couch Coaches. I'm Coach Mac.
And I'm Coach Ryan. How we doing today, everybody?
Okay.
Doing amazing. Now, as you know, people, I want to say this right now. As of right now, the March episode is being aired right now because we did that back in March. But don't worry, we know. This is our draft. This is us like 1 day after the draft. So, and I did say some things in that former episode that we're going to get to later, but it was just funny because I love it. I absolutely fucking love it. Oh.
Yeah. So, as everybody knows, there was a big old draft that happened in the NFL, and me and Mac did not get to record before the draft, but we did message each other our ideal first three picks because first round pick because I argue we had a pretty good first round pick in Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
That technically doesn't count. So we went by first three. I'll read Mac's hopefuls off, and then he'll read my hopefuls off. So before the draft, Mac said he'd be happy if he got Akeem Mesidor, Jacob Rodriguez, and Deshaun Stribling. Those were his three. Deshaun Stribling. Those were his three. His three ideal picks. And then Mac, do you want to share who I would have been happy to get?
Oh, you went with Carlin Hood, Traydon Stukes,
yes,
and Jake Slater.
So Mac, I think it's fair to say that the Buccaneers exceeded everything you wanted.
Everything that I wanted.
Because I like Akeem Mesidor. I think he's gonna do okay with the Chargers. But you picked Akeem because you didn't think Ruben Bain was going to be there at 15.
I did not I'll tell you what happened. Like, I was doing a recording of dope albums, and I was just looking at this on the phone, and I saw the picks. I saw Ruben Bain was not being picked. Let me tell you how I thought this during this time. I was sitting there thinking, okay, so Ruben Bain's still on the board. Okay, at this time,
let me ask you what was going through your mind with each team that didn't pick Baines. Were you like, oh, this is going to be the team that, like, every team that came up, you were like, the Dolphins will do it. Wait, what? Oh,
what? Maybe Dolphins did do it? Like, yeah.
Oh, I thought, will the Ravens? Will somebody? And then it's like, oh, you had to assume.
I literally was like, let me wait. Jason Light probably won't pick him. So if Jason Light probably not going to pick him because there's something wrong with him. And then Jason put in the car. It was really bad. Oh shit!
It was just. I truly believe this is going to be Ruben is the type. Here's the thing. I understand the points of like athletics, like arm length to a degree, but when you have I stand by Ruben Baines is I'm gonna make the argument that he's probably gonna be the best player out of this draft class. My ceiling for him is I'm trying to think of like an all-time great edge from our era because I don't want to go all the way back to Dwight Freeney because that's not fair. Nobody can be Dwight Freeney.
Oh yeah.
But like he compares to that guy. Like for me, the notion that his arms are too short is ludicrous.
It's ludicrous.
What he does, he knows his arms aren't as long. He compensates for it with the way that he bends, that he moves, the quickness.
Yeah,
like just.
Like as an offensive line coach, I looked at the tape. Like I said, when I go through each pick, I look at the tape. And when you look at the tape, like I remember looking at the tape. And if they did not tell me about the arm length, I wouldn't have never noticed it.
Nobody's gonna know it. It's like a half inch.
It's half inch.
It's not even like I could understand if his arms were like a half foot or like a foot shorter than like the traditional like edge, maybe. But like we're talking about like inches here. Like
inches.
It's ludicrous that he fell out of the top 10 because of his arm. I'm assuming it's because of the arm length.
Well,
And it's
here's what I'll
crazy.
tell these 15 other teams. I'm going to say it right here. I'm going to say it. These 15 other dumbass teams. Let me tell you something. Okay, so if you let's say you go get a player with longer arms, 9 times out of 10, if you got shorter arms, you're gonna have to come up with different move sets every time to get that tackle. And the fact that he's coming up with new move sets, he got to come up with a different move every time because they got film just like us. So he's probably going to do a different move every time. And I'm telling you, a defensive end who has a different move for you every week, he's going to come up with a different move. He's going to come up with a cross chop. He's going to do a spin move. You don't know what he's going to do. I'd rather you have long arms and have less of a move set than have short arms and have more of a move. Because if I'm a tackle and I'm blocking you and you got so many different moveset and I don't know what you're coming at me with this week, I am scared because I thought, I don't know what the fuck am I going to do because there are so many different ways you can attack me.
Ruben Baines is the type of edge rusher who's going to be a problem on first down, second down, and third down.
Third down, yes, exactly.
He's going to have something different every single down.
Every week.
And he's got that motor that you want out of a defensive edge. He's got like this engine that doesn't stop moving.
Don't stop. Like he's relentless.
It's crazy to say that at pick 15, you had the steal of the draft, but I firmly believe you had the steal of the draft because every other team outside of the Raiders should have considered Ruben. Now maybe you're like my friend Tom, he likes David Bailey more. He likes other guys more, but there should have been every team until your Bucks should have asked themselves, should we consider Baines? And the fact that they didn't is crazy to me.
Yeah, I can now. I'll say this again. Going through the picks, the ones that surprised me was the Dolphins, the Rams, and
probably the
Ravens. Because I thought
Cardinals too, right? The Cardinals. Why? This will be a preview for later in the episode. The Cardinals should have taken Bain.
Yep, they should have.
Why Jeremiah? I'm sorry, you don't need Jeremiah Love services in Arizona.
Yeah.
You needed an edge rusher.
I thought. You want my honest opinion? I thought Sonny Styles is going to be a Cardinal. I thought that's the reason.
We'll talk about it a little bit, but Sonny Styles falling to 7 is crazy.
Crazy. I thought he was 3. He was 3, but I think that's why Ruben fell because that was the first when they got Jordan Love. They, the Commanders is like, fuck me.
The Commander. I feel like the Commanders were thinking Jeremiah Love was going to have to be like their consultation prize because in most mock drafts that I did, it went Mendoza and then defense heavy until the Commanders.
Yeah.
So it is so crazy to me that you had Jeremiah Love, Carnell Tate, and Jordan Tyson in the top 10. I stand by. This is a draft class that should have been defensive heavy. And the fact that we had 3 different offensive guys outside, because Mendoza was going to be the pick, because I'm not stupid. In this league, you don't have a quarterback, and you're
winning
shit. You're taking Mendoza. And so it's crazy to me. I'll say this about the Bengals, the second round pick at 41. I didn't even consider Cassius Howell, because in every mock draft that I ran, he was gone by then. So for me, I was like, well, hopefully there's a corner. I would really like a cornerback here. Hopefully Colton Hood falls. I didn't assume McCoy would fall, and I'm assuming his knee is totally screwed.
See, his knee is fucked.
Because he has. I haven't watched enough of his tape, but I've had enough smart people tell me McCoy has top 5 talent, but his knee has to be destroyed. It has to be in a place that is.
Yeah, because when you look at the tape, look at the tape of McCoy, he is a nightmare to literally go against. I'm looking at him like he is a nightmare.
So he's everything that you want. So for him to fall to the first pick of the 4th round tells me there's something wrong with his knee. So just at 41, I didn't assume McCoy and Cassius would be there. I just assumed okay. So I was pleasantly surprised. I was so especially I watched more of his tape. Like once we picked the guy, I watched his tape and I'm like, oh my god, this is like we were saying with Bane. Cassius is that kind of defensive edge that you want at the pro level because he has no regard for safety.
Mhm.
Like the clip that I think went around online this weekend was like his game against LSU, where he gets a sack in the first like 3 plays and he's shit talking the LSU tackle in Death Valley. No fear. He is the Bengals GM described him as violent, and I love
You
that.
love it. Yeah, you need that.
That's
Yeah.
what you want coming
That's
off
what you
him.
want. Yeah. You want that
So I think for
mentality.
both of us, both of our first picks, I think we're both pleasantly surprised because I think neither of us expected that guy there.
Mm-mm.
Like, so thank you to the Rams for taking Ty Simpson. Thank you to all these teams who reached. Like,
Reached hard.
ooh, oh my God, man. Like, what was it? The 49ers, I think, opened the second round with your guy
Scribbling.
that you were hoping to
Yeah,
get
I was hoping we get
at,
Stribbling.
but you were hoping to get him in round 3. So not the open the second round. Like that guy, he's a good wide
Well,
receiver. But
here's the reason why I thought Stribbling was going to be in the third round because the one thing I thought for the 49ers, this is what I thought. It was surprising that the 49ers took Stribbling because I was like, Stribbling? Why would they need Stribbling? You got Mike Evans. You got all these wide receivers.
yes,
Why you need another
yeah.
young receiver? You got plenty wide receivers. So that literally put a question mark in my head, like, why you need him? You got what you need right here. You don't need him. Like 49, I'm gonna tell 49ers what I'm gonna be honest here. We'll get to that in the end. But 49ers, I'm telling you what you needed. I thought 49ers were gonna go after, honestly, Rodriguez. When they stepped in, I thought Rodriguez is going to be a Niner.
Would have been a
Rodriguez is going to be
great
a Niner.
slot.
When they got Stribbling, I was like, we got a shot at Rodriguez. That's cool.
I think
I'll take
I
that.
think this is the draft that shows that John Lynch probably isn't the best GM in football. Not even the best. Isn't a good GM in football.
I don't think he's a good
This
GM.
has exposed. I think his 4 drafts since being hired, he is consistently missing on guys and not.
I believe, and I believe this in John Lynch. I think John Lynch got. I'll be blunt here. I think he just got lucky with his first pick. Sometimes, he did get Bosa. Once he got Nick, it just everybody.
And he got lucky with Purdy. Like, cool.
Yeah, he got lucky with Purdy.
You got lucky with the last pick of the draft, but overall, you're whiffing.
I feel like, in my honest opinion, John Lynch is a lucky GM. He just luckily got players that just helped to say, because if you don't
cover up the mistakes.
Yeah, if he did not have Brock Purdy, he would be fired. He just got lucky.
For sure. So Cassius brings us to round 2, where we're hoping for Rodriguez. Unfortunately, the Dolphins take him a couple picks before you. You've probably seen this guy play as an SEC linebacker. Do you like the Josiah Trotter pick, or do you still wish you would have gotten Rodriguez?
Okay, so let me go through my mind. At first, when I heard, because who I was thinking we were going to give the pick was C.J. Allen. I thought C.J. Allen must be the pick. But when we went and got, when we got Trotter, I was like, what? And then once again, unlike other Buck fans, I don't complain about the pick, especially with Jason White. I look at the tape. I go look at the tape, and I'll be like, okay, this kid is a tackling machine. Like, you send him on attack mode, he's attacking anything in the backfield. When I look at him, because I think what the Bucks did was, I think Bucks fans, in Buck fans' minds, this is what I feel. In Buck fans, I'm gonna say this to y'all: we are not replacing Lavonte David. Just get that out your head. Nobody will be Lavonte David. There's only one Lavonte David. However, I think what the Bucks were trying to do was replace what they had in 2020, which was Devin White. And when I see him, I see Devin White. We needed a linebacker that's going to attack every time they in the line of scrimmage. Just go back there and get tackles for loss. tackles for loss every time, and that's what he does. He's you're every time I saw him, he don't miss. He's in the backfield. Every one thing I notice about him, and that's what the rest of the players in the draft. They're in the backfield making tackles every fucking time. And it may not be pretty sometimes, but they're making it every time. And that's what I love about Trotter is he is in the backfield every time making the tackle.
You also got to hope that some of his dad comes through too, because his dad was Jeremiah Trotter.
Exactly.
And also a Philadelphia Buck linebacker that I really enjoyed watching.
Well, you know what? I also, you know, if TJ's watching, that's a good fuck you, TJ, because they got a player in Tampa Bay that was once the Philadelphia Eagles. So, you know, fuck you. You know, even though we're not Philadelphia's rivals, you know, secretly we're like number one on their list as probably top 3 most hated teams for the Eagles. They hate everybody, but they hate us more because we kicked their ass out of the playoffs. Like what? I mean, who's counting 3 times in a row? I mean, who's counting that? But anyway, but I do love after going over and doing the analysis and looking at it like a responsible person. I like the pick because it fits what Bowles want to do. It fits exactly what to do. Because now you got one literally covered, and the other player you can send on attack mode every time.
Yeah. So Jeremiah is a good pick. For me, I was hoping for safety with our third round pick. Unfortunately, I think Trident got picked pretty quickly. But the more I get to learn about this Davis kid at Washington, the more I like the pick because truly what the Bengals have struggled with, I would say as the linebacker core has gotten worse, we struggle with tight ends. And this is a kid who is his role will be to cover tight ends. Right. And he's a tall cat. He's like 6'4". He's lean. I mean, he might need to put some pounds on because he's sick. Yeah, he's 6'4", under 200. So that means he's thin. So he needs to get a little bit of weight. Some of that NFL diet will do him some good. You know, I'm content with it. It was at the time I was like, why don't? It's the 3rd round. Take a shot at McCoy. This is before we hear anything about his knee. So at the moment when it happened, I'm like, why are we taking this kid out of Washington? He who knows? Because I'm gonna admit my bias. I don't know enough about the Washington Huskies. Like I'm seeing a player from Washington, and I'm like,
who the hell is he?
I don't know how good you really are. But I've watched some of his tape. I like what he does. He's a tall cat. His role is straightforward. You're gonna be covering tight ends because we can't fucking cover tight ends. So I like it. I would have liked a linebacker in this spot, but I think the Bengals, unfortunately, have more faith in their linebackers than I do. So we just go with the kid out of Washington. I'm rooting for the kid. Obviously, I want him to succeed. And then I think you guys, I'll just say it. I think your third round pick, who you got, this Ted Hurst kid, I think has the negative of being from a small school. I think he's a top 40 pick if he's not playing for Georgia State. I think if he's playing for even an ACC team, I think if he's playing at a big school, he's a top 40 pick. Because I've watched his stuff. He's a fantastic
pick. He's a top 40. I'll take you further, Ryan. I feel like if he played for someone like if he not for
we Georgia, don't even have to take him out of the state. What if he played for Georgia? Like
he would not. He would be a second round. If he played for Georgia, he'll probably be a second round pick. If he played for someone like I'm just putting that out there. He played for someone like Indiana or Oregon, first round pick, 100%. If you played with Mendoza, man, you be putting up crazy numbers. Because if you look at the tape, the kid gets separation.
He's so good.
He's so good. And
it is just one of those things with the NFL draft where they really they
like the top schools.
He's playing against lesser competition, but you can still watch the tape and tell he's
he's head and shoulders better than
those.
he was literally playing like this kid should be in the big leagues, which
no,
so
so
honestly,
right with the fact that you got Ruben Baines and then you get this kid in the third round, you guys, I don't know if there's another team in this draft who had a better like stealing value where they were. You
yeah,
got
because
Ted with the 84th pick. Like, I
you
think
could
he's gonna be. I think he'll help you forget about Evans pretty quickly.
yeah, because
Like,
when I see him play, the way he plays, like the one thing I said, I've been saying this the whole time. I was sitting there during the third round. I said, we need an X wide receiver, and that's what we need. I remember a lot. There was some stupid ass, but I'm calling stupid. There were some stupid things who were saying we should go after we should go after Dion, we should go after Branch. And I was like, no, I don't want Branch. He's too small. He uses bubble screens. He's not, his catch radius is not good. I seen the kid play at Georgia. While I love the kid, he is more of a person that you literally he runs a slant and he's gonna get wide open. So he gotta like be super wide open. You gotta scheme for him to be open. So I didn't like him. Also, you gotta have an accurate quarterback to throw to him, which is not gonna work in his favor. And also I said Branch with Branch, I said we already got our version of Branch that's Tez Johnson. So we got him. So why would we need him? Falcons, I'll admit they grabbed him. I'm gonna be honest, it didn't work. I don't know if it's gonna work out or not, but we'll see. But I think Falcons need a bigger wide receiver. I think they would have been. I personally thought they were gonna go after. I thought Ted Hurst would have been a Falcon before, but they didn't want to take that risk. Yeah. I was when Stribbin left. I originally wanted the Tennessee guy, but Carolina dumbasses picked him first. And then I didn't know nothing about Ted Hurst until then I was like, I don't know who this kid is. And I looked at the tape and I was like, I was sitting there like pointing at the screen, like, they literally let us get this demon. Did they really let us get this kid? Like,
no,
did they really?
When you watch his tape, Ted is pure. I play at Georgia State. That's why I'm a mid third round pick when I should have been.
Should have been a second round pick. Yeah,
you should have been an early second round pick.
So early second round. When you look at the tape,
there's an argument to be made that he might be. When all things are said and done with this draft, he might be the second best wide receiver out of the draft.
Might be.
Like, he's got the ceiling to, especially with a guy like Baker. So he's getting the benefit of having a really great quarterback now, and
he doesn't have to be the guy.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be the guy right away.
Yeah, it's a perfect.
He's going to be a nice little wide. He's got a potential for wide receiver too quickly, and I think he's going to do really well. And I'm going to say, for my fourth round pick, the third pick for the Bengals, they used pick 110 to flip to 2 fourth round picks, which I really liked. Let the Jets take the Clemson quarterback like Doofus is. Like, oh yes, the Clemson quarterback is the guy. Good job, guys. And they took Connor Lew from Auburn. I like the pick because he's 20 and he is a pure center that is going to be the heir apparent to Ted Karras, who is near the end of his career. So I love the youthful potential there. Like, he doesn't have to play right away. That's the lovely thing about Connor. He doesn't have to play this year. He has time to develop and to grow. Like, he's only, like I said, he's only 20. He'll be 21. So he's not even done growing yet. So, and he's learning behind Ted, who's been in this league, who's won Super Bowls. I like getting a guy who could be the Burrow center for the next 10 years.
Right.
Because that has been on my mind. Because Ted Karras has had a long career. His career is coming to, it's this season or next. Yeah. It's starting to, the cracks are starting to show. So, my fear has been man, Ted's going to retire and they're not going to have a replacement. What are we going to do? And they get this kid out of Auburn. I really liked the tape that I saw. The commentary I was hearing was if he hadn't gotten hurt last year, he's probably a top 40 pick. Like he's a second rounder too. So that made me feel even. I love getting a guy who should have been a higher pick, but because he had an injury, teams were hesitant. So I think he's going to be pretty good. I feel really good about that pick. You're an offensive line coach, and you're a fan of Georgia, so maybe you've seen some of his tape. How do you feel about Connor? Like the Connor Lew from Auburn, the center the Bengals drafted.
He is very good. He's strong in the pursuit. His get off is really good. From Auburn is good at running the ball. So that's where they're good at. That's where they're efficient at. But one thing about center, that's one thing that he's good at. So you're getting a good running center, but also with the fact that you're giving him more time, so he can work on that craft of it. So you're not asking him to start right away, which would be great. And I think he'll develop into a starter. So it's worth the pick. So it was worthy pick.
Yeah. And then I think that kind of leads us into our grades.
Well, can I talk about my fourth round pick? Because I wasn't talking about my fourth round pick.
Yeah, talk about the steal. Because I didn't think another steal. I didn't think Keionte Scott would make it that far.
Let me be honest here. I was sitting there like it's the fourth round. I said, okay, Jason. Now is a good time to take this cornerback from Tennessee. And then the Raiders went in there and took them. I was like, damn. So at that point, I was sitting there I was working, so I had to work. And I was sitting there crossing my fingers and I was sitting there crossing everything. I was like, if we get Keionte Scott, because I look at the tape of Keionte Scott and I was like, he reminds me of a nickel version of Antoine Winfield, where he is hitting everything and he's a playmaker. And also another thing I like about Keionte Scott, I believe he can cover tight ends, which is I think we have a problem with too.
I'll be honest with you. I would have rather had Keionte Scott over Davis, even though I like Davis. So there is a part of me I am a little jealous. Like y'all could have had Keionte Scott. And also it's biased because I saw him and he played really well in the Miami playoff run. Like Keionte played really well. Ruben played really well. The guy that I'm hoping the Bengals get when he's eligible in a couple of years, the wide receiver out of Miami. I think he's like 18, and he's playing like he's already playing like a veteran. Like Miami had such a good roster this season.
Oh yeah, they had a roster. Everybody was picking.
They had such a great roster, so there was a lot of, and you got two of those guys that during that playoff run, I remember hearing Keionte Scott and obviously Ruben Banks.
Keionte Scott was like everywhere. When I looked at him play, I was like, because the reason why I wanted Tennessee, because I was like, well, we need competition for Zion. But when he was gone, I was like, okay, Keionte Scott would be perfect because then we can put him. We can go like down and put all four out there, and Keionte can be that fourth guy that literally covers the tight end. And I'm telling you right now, Kyle Pitts is going up against him, and you try to throw against him, Keionte might make the play. He's that good. He might make the play. He might sit up there and try to. If dumbass Michael Penix tried to throw against him, Keionte might snatch. He might be like, oh, he's small. Yeah. He won't jump. Like he literally got a vertical where he's literally jumping higher than him, and he's like, oh, got him. And his ball skills, the way he tapped. I'm sitting there like. He had to play wide receiver at the time because he's running their routes. The kid's good. He's amazing. I love this pick. This is one of the another pick. Jason Light is no longer Jason Light. Jason Light should now no longer. He is Master Chef Jason Light because this motherfucker cooked this draft. He did.
And he didn't have to move either. That's the other thing. He let other teams make mistakes, which I think is a good pivot for us. The clowns of the draft, it's the Rams, and it's not even close. I saw some people creating new grades for like the Rams picks because like it's not it is I truly did not think anybody would fall for the nonsense that was Ty Simpson.
I understand. I like Ty Simpson as a second. I said this in the last episode, and I say it again. Ty Simpson is going to get somebody fired if they get him in the first round.
So now this is going to be my hot take. It's not that he's going to get anybody fired. He's going to get McVay to leave. McVay's going to be like, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be invested with this. McVay has that TV money waiting for him. And y'all, I saw the body language. I know there are Rams fans who are trying to show like other clips. I saw that body language. That was not a pick that he wanted. I don't care what anybody says.
He was thinking right dead in his head, like, okay.
He looked like a deer in headlights, Mac. And it's ludicrous. I'm not going to get to the conspiracy stuff because apparently there are people who think like, oh, well, this was the GM of the Rams doing a favor to his friend. Like, that's idiotic.
It's idiotic.
What
Why you're
happened was the people within the Rams making these draft decisions fell for some tape, and they're in for a rude awakening.
What they did was listen to some dumbass named Dan Orlovsky who was sitting there hyping this stupid motherfucker up. Like, look at the tape, look at here, look at this, look at that. I was sitting there like, okay, motherfucker. Look. I literally was like,
why can't we acknowledge the roster?
Yeah,
like, he was on a good roster, guys.
I literally will tell Dan Orlovsky, I said, put on the tape against Georgia the second time in Atlanta and tell me, is that a better quarterback? He was like, well, he was playing without his running backs. Exactly. He didn't have all his weapons. So why does that make him a good quarterback? Like, tell me, that make it make sense.
I don't want to watch the tape. I don't want to watch the tape of a quarterback when his guys are all there. I want to see how he plays when his weapons aren't there.
Yeah.
And everything, like,
prime example, Bryce Young. Prime example, Bryce Young. Yeah, he's looking good, but look what the Panthers have to do to make Bryce Young look good. They got to give him all these weapons to look good. That's not a good quarterback. That's just a quarterback that needs weapons. A quarterback that didn't need weapons, look no further than C.J. Stroud. He may still hold C.J. Stroud in high regard. He didn't foul them weapons.
I know it's weird not to, like, you shouldn't feel bad for this guy. The Rams were 5 points away from a fucking Super Bowl where they would have smashed the Patriots. Why the fuck didn't you get Ruben Baines? Why didn't you get a weapon? Ty Simpson would have been there in the second round. That's what's.
The Steelers wanted him. Steelers wanted a wide receiver. Nobody wanted him.
There's
nobody wanted him, dumbass.
Puka Nacua is destroying. Puka Nacua is on a binge drinking tour. Devontae Adams is old. Maybe get a wide. Like, there's any other pick. At 13 for the Rams.
Well, we got Tyler Higbee. Let's just hit some more tight ends. Really? You could have got Stribling. You could have got Ted Hurst. You could have got anybody else, but you just chose to, like, we're preparing for the future. Why?
Oh my God! They
fucked it up. Yeah, they fucked it up. Like,
upgrade that raw. They were like, I hate the Rams. I'm thinking to myself, like, man, if I was the GM of the Rams, they would be ready for a Super Bowl. They would be ready to compete for a Super Bowl because they're already this close. Just make the picks. Get impact guys. You can't pick with the 13th pick in the fucking draft a guy who they have said if he doesn't play on his rookie contract, we're okay with that. What the fuck? You brought his rookie?
Do they know how much you're gonna have to pay him? That's 13. That's 13 pick. You're going to pay more money. Like, I would have, I'm a GM. If I'm a GM of the Rams, pick a Ruben Bain. Fuck anybody who says. Because even though you got a decent defensive line, Ruben Bain would make that. You could rotate.
That would push that. That would allow them to compete with the Seahawks.
Exactly.
Like,
you could have
Bain added to the Rams defensive rotation.
No, not just rotation. You can plug Ruben Bain anywhere on that D line, so you could keep him on the field essentially. Like, Yeah, like I don't know what some answers were thinking.
I'm just gonna list off a couple. I'm just gonna list off a couple guys that were drafted after Simpson that maybe the Rams should have been thinking about. Maybe maybe a certain guy like a Ruben Babes, maybe a Keyshawn, the tight end out of Oregon, maybe the Clemson tackle, maybe just the tackle out of Georgia, Monroe Freeling,
Yeah.
like the Lemon Kid, freaking Casey Consent. There's
so many
picks they could have went with that like instantly make the Rams better. The Rams do not like. This is where I, as a fan of football, they didn't make picks to make them better, and
they made picks for the future. They did what we like to call, our roster's already good, so we're just gonna pick.
That's a mistake. Yes, it's smart to draft for the future, but at the same time, you can't just be content with the guys you got, especially when you only have 5 picks.
Exactly.
You only had 5 picks.
You only have 5 fucking picks. That's what sucks.
So the Rams have earned that the D that I sent you from Sporting News and the E's and F's that they've earned. It really felt like an auto draft almost. Like you think to yourself, like, what is going on? Like, are they not? And then we can say in the NFC West, the San Francisco doesn't seem to know what they're
doing. What the fuck they're doing? Like I don't know what they're doing. Like we said it before. John Lynch made a dumb move. Like Stribling, when I saw Stribling, I thought, okay, so all right, well, what? Like what I thought was
you like the guy, but you don't like him enough to take him in the second.
Yeah,
the first pick of the second round.
You're picking last, so you could have picked him. But I get it. But here's my issue with the Stribling pick. All right, so me personally, and I'm honesty, you have a linebacker, Fred Warner, who came off of a catastrophic injury. He is, and when you have a catastrophic injury, you don't know if he's going to come back at the way he was or what he was. Because let's just be honest, he's not going to come back the way he was. So I personally would be looking for his replacement because eventually he's going to either retire or he's going to suck so bad that you're going to have to let him go. Yeah. So now that you got Stribling, where I'm be honest here, this is the reason why this is the reason you signed Mike Evans. You didn't sign Mike Evans because, well, we need more wide receivers. No, you signed Mike Evans because you wanted to pair him with your tight end, your other wide receiver who you clearly love. You wanted to see how you look with the rest, not with Stribling. You're trying to build everything. Now, honestly, I look at this as a mess. Like, Stribling is not going to start, obviously. And, well, he probably will start, mind you, because, they're probably thinking something's going to happen to one of these wide receivers. Like, well, if we're down wide receivers, we're going to suck. No, the reason you got blasted by the Seahawks, like they beat your ass, was not the wide receivers. Your defense was missing Fred Warner. That was the reason why you lost. And what you lost because your defense could not stop anybody. You got lucky against the Eagles because you were playing the Eagles because they, no offense, they were free falling. Yep, love you too, TJ. They were free falling. That's the reason you lost to the Eagles. I'm being honest here. I'm gonna keep it a buck. If we would have played the Eagles in Lincoln, we probably would have whooped their asses. I bet you money we would have went down there and kicked their asses. I'm just being honest here about Eagles. I'll keep it real? We would have whooped their asses. I feel like the Eagles was TJ's gonna be mad at me again. They were a free pass win.
So the Niners and the Rams, abysmal drafts. The Minnesota's getting some negative grades. I agree that Caleb Banks at 18 is insane, but I actually like a lot of their picks after Caleb Banks. It is a little stupid to get Caleb Banks in the first round and then get Dominique Orange in the third round. Like, why are you picking 2 nose tackles Like, what are you doing there, boy? Like, it just
Yeah.
why Caleb Banks? That one, I was not a fan of. I was not sold on Caleb Banks. To see him go in the first round made me chuckle. I just, but outside of that, I like a lot of their picks. I'm trying to think of other teams because this might
I'm
be a
gonna keep
good
it real with you.
transition. Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I gotta keep it real with you. A lot of these people talking about how the Atlanta Falcons did. Y'all, they cooked. I'll be like,
I got a B. There, I'm seeing the consensus around like a B minus, which for Atlanta is
I thought it
good.
was just a flat.
I think for Atlanta is good to get a B minus, but like they've
Like they
they had the
picked
moment of the draft. Like I'm not gonna deny, like
his
the
brother.
brothers getting to play together is cool. Like, but I'm gonna laugh if they trade the one of them in a couple of years.
Like, my brother and my nephew are diehard Clemson fans, and I told him we got their defensive tackle. He was like, I don't know who he is. I'm tell you right now, it doesn't matter because Clemson sucks right now, and if you just got picked at Clemson, that means that player sucks. We're having a down year. Which leads me to believe that's a dumbass idea what they did. You're literally pulling a LeBron James, like AJ Terrell, like, hey, pick my brother, he's pretty good. All right, cool, let's go get him because what the fuck, really? This is stupid. So I feel like Clemson went and got another small corner to pair with their brother. Let me be honest here. Let me keep it real with you. They don't need no more corners. Like, if I am Atlanta, why the fuck are you going for a corner? What was the area that you had trouble with? Tackle. You had a problem with the tackle. Grab a tackle. That's who
They didn't take a tackle until the 7th round. That's crazy. I'm looking at their draft.
Yeah, I know they should have took the tackle.
I see what you mean.
That's what I kept hearing from these Falcons fans. We need a tackle. We need a tackle. And then
let me look at the tackle, like, because maybe it was just they didn't value any guy, like, because I felt like there was a run of it.
There was a
before
run
the Falcons ever picked.
There was some good ones.
So maybe Atlanta made the decision because the ceiling, like the floor had collapsed, and it's like, do we reach for a tackle with the second pick now? Probably.
But I feel like they reached with Terrell.
They probably did.
I feel like I'll be honest here. If you're gonna go after, because let's be honest, AJ Terrell is the same size or around the same size as Keionte. I would have went with Keionte Scott. Being honest, if you're going for AJ Terrell for novelty, Keionte Scott would have. I think Keionte Scott honestly will be better than Terrell. I'll call it right here. Keionte Scott will be better than Terrell. 100%. He will be better.
There's a potential there for sure. I'm just double checking. I'm looking at grades, and then I'm looking at the picks to see the Jags just got dragged quite a bit, and I look at their picks and I'm starting to see why, because it doesn't make any sense.
They didn't have a first round pick.
Yeah, and then you look at their first pick, the tight end out of A&M. I don't understand that at all.
Me neither, but as an added bonus, we got to put this in perspective. Another thing too, their team is still good. As long as, I'll put it like this, barring like with the Jags, if Trevor Lawrence somehow either regress or he gets injured, they're fucked.
Yeah,
that's all I got to say.
Yeah. So I'll start this off. I think the boneheaded move of the draft. So we'll end the negativity and get to the positivity, but we're going to end on the negativity with the boneheaded move of the draft. I think it's the Cardinals taking Jeremiah Love. I think Jeremiah Love is a fantastic player. Cardinals didn't need his services. The Cardinals have so many other issues, and now they're gonna. I love somebody made an image of like how the Cardinals are going to run offense this year, and it's just going to be 4 running backs in the backfield.
You basically did what the Cardinals did. They basically doing what the New York Giants did a few years ago when they grabbed Saquon Barkley. You literally are just like, let's just grab him. He'll make our offense good, and he's going to be good.
And it sucks because so I'm hoping Jeremiah gets out of there and gets a great second team. Because I actually think he would have been really good in Washington, who I assumed was going to get him. So
the thing about running backs, like if you're getting a running back in the first round, let alone a top 5 pick, he better be damn good because running backs have a lower.
And I think Jeremiah Love is damn good. I just think the roster around him is going to fail him. I think.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I think he's going to suffer. He's got Carson Beck as one of his quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Carson Beck, man. Oh, the fact that he got drafted into the 3rd round too. That tells you the state of quarterback analysis.
I laughed when they said, "Oh, we got Carson Beck." I was like, "Oh Lord, you literally got a quarterback, all right, yeah, because he's not going to allow you."
I said the Cardinals taking Jeremiah Love was the boneheaded move of the draft. What would you say was the boneheaded move of the draft?
Boneheaded move of the draft.
We already talked about it, but if you want to say the Rams and Simpson, you can say.
No. I got somebody.
Oh, okay.
I will say, and I'm gonna say this. This is another team I was surprised about. Even Dolphin fans disagree with me, but I feel like the Dolphins literally and Proctor was a stupid idea. I feel like they should have got Ruben Bean. I
feel Proctor was such a reach.
It was.
Yeah, we didn't even get into the Proctor of it all, but that one, when I saw that on my phone, I'm like, that's a glitch.
That's a glitch. Like, there's no way.
There's no way. And then, sure enough, now the Dolphins committed to Caden Proctor. I don't get
like when that happened. I thought this is the pick. At that point, when I tell you, I thought Ruben Bain was going here. I was like, Ruben Bain going here. I already set it into my sights. Like, I was already happy. Like, I was sitting there like, well, like we're gonna get Messidor, so I'm happy. I was sitting there happy. Like, Messidor, cool, because I wasn't mad. I was sitting there thinking, we're getting exactly who I want, who I want. And then when he got picked, I was like, oh, there's a chance. At that point, I was like, there's a chance that we can get him. But, the Rams, they need some pass for Ty Simpson. I was like, oh, Rams. All right, but Baltimore, they just got Trey Henderson. They might could use him. Oh, yeah, that makes sense to get a tackle. Wait a minute, we're next. Oh, my God, we're getting Ruben Bain. Yes.
Tell me, was there a little bit of fear like, oh, no, are they going to – were you afraid they might pass on Bain?
I was a little bit concerned, and I thought that we were going to pass on Ruben Bain. I thought there was a part of me – there was like – I'll be honest, there was like a 10% chance that we were not going to get Ruben Bain because everybody was talking about his arms. Let me explain to you. They were talking about his arms, and I was sitting there thinking, people was like, everybody in the Bucs like, oh, they're going to be scared of his arms. I said, you want to know who else has small? I said, guys, I literally was like, guys, you want to know who else has small arms but worked out for the Bucs? Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett had a 20-plus sack season. Shaq Barrett worked out well for the Bucs. The only reason Shaq is not with the Bucs is because he got injured. If Shaq didn't get injured, Shaq probably have 100 sacks. That's how good he was in Todd Bowles' defense. So that wasn't concern. That was not a concern for me. I was like the arm length. I was like, I'm not concerned about that because he had somebody that had small arm length. Like, I'll be honest, Shaq had like his arm length was like 1 inch more than 1 inch more. I think 2 inches more than Rick Benton. He was like 2 inches more. But you seen what he did. He worked on this shit. So
since you're talking about the Bucs, that kind of leads into the positivity. I said this to Mac after the draft in our DMs, and after looking over it, I think the Bucs had the best draft of all 32 teams. I would have given it. They got an A-. I would have given them an A. Like I truly believe like every pick the Bucs made makes them better. I think they're probably winning the NFC South this year, competing for at least the 3 or the 2 seed. As this is now, Baker stays healthy, the sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit.
They are now. Granted, the sky is the Seahawks too. That's going to be, but I think in the Bucs with this draft are going to be the team that surprises people. like because people don't pay attention to the NFC South, and I think the Bucks are gonna win like 12 games at least. They're going to be winning the division, and I really think they might make it to the end, especially if they get like the right path. They make it
If
to
they
the
get the
NFC
NFC
title
Championship,
game.
once again, I literally
I
will
think they
start
get
that
back to the
statue.
NFC
I will start that
Championship.
statue for Todd Bowles. I'll be honest.
I think, and that is probably the big, like for me, like I think me and you are in the same boat. We both know that there's now a roster there, and the question at head coach for both of us.
Yeah,
Because
that's the issue.
I think if I were like if like I'll ask you, being genuine, is the thing holding back the Bucks now Todd Bowles? Is that your biggest question mark?
That is the point. If it is Todd Bowles, but Todd Bowles got a time to prove me wrong. If
So
he fixes defense, like in all honesty, with this defense, and I just keep it real. I keep it real with Ted Hurst and all these offensive additions and Zach Robinson coming in here to basically be to be basically Liam Cohen 2.0. I feel like all Todd Bowles got to do, and it's not hard. All Todd Bowles got to do is just make us a top 10 defense. If he could get us in a top 10 defense, I agree with you. 12 wins minimum. 12 wins minimum.
because they haven't released the schedule yet, like the dates.
Yeah, they haven't, but I believe
when you look at the Buccaneers schedule, I think it is definitely within, especially I don't think, like, here's the thing, I don't think the any other team in the division had a bad draft. Like,
yeah,
nobody bombed in the NFC South when it came to their draft. Maybe there was some reaches, but nobody did pull the Rams. So every team in the NFC South got better, but I think the gap between, let's just say, the Buccaneers draft and the Panthers and the Saints and the Falcons, in my opinion, is significant.
Here's my prediction. I'm going to make a prediction. Here's the funny thing I'm going to happen this year. I believe there will be 2 wild card teams coming out of the NFC South.
Wait, so you're telling me 3 out of the 4 NFC South teams, 3 out of the 4 teams out of the NFC South will make the playoffs?
Yes.
And are the Falcons the odd man out?
I think the Falcons are the odd man out because no, it's just because
or the Saints
not going to be 100%. It's Kevin Stefanski, and they while they got a good defense, it's a mess. It's going to be a mess because you got Kevin Stefanski doing it, but he doesn't have his guy, and I feel like one loss they're going to be button heads. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be button heads because that's not his guy. That's not Kevin Stefanski did not pick Jeff Urich. So I feel like if they get one bad loss, they're going to be at each other's throats. And he's going to tell Matt Ryan, you brought me in here. It's either me or him. And you already know what Kevin Stefanski, he is a person that will stab you in the fucking back. 100%. He'll do it just to save his skin.
Yeah. I don't know if the whole draft is good, but I think the Texans stealing Caden McDonald out of Ohio State is disgusting. So maybe they didn't have an A+ draft, but they made a great defense even better. So I think, like, that's just my, like, side note of, like, because I truly, for me, the Bucks had the best draft for me of all 32 teams, but I think the Texans getting that defense even better with a guy like McDonald, who's going to be an impact. McDonald's going to be an impact player immediately on that defense.
I do like what the Cowboys did. Caleb Downs is pretty good.
Yeah. So who is, if it's not, since I already said the Bucks, and you don't want to look like a homer, if you were to look at all 31 teams, who would you say had the best draft of all of the 31 teams outside of team?
Let's see. You know what? Arguably, I'm going to stick in the NFC South.
Okay.
I feel like what the Panthers did.
Yeah, the Panthers also got an A.
Yeah,
so
Panthers did some things to push the envelope for the team. Like, they had a good enough draft to where now it's all on Bryce Young. So you buy it
So you like the Monroe? Like Monroe's going to be an instant starter,
He's going to be a good
protecting.
starter. He's going to be a good
You
starter.
like the wide receiver, the Tennessee wide receiver
Yeah, I
for
like the
him.
Tennessee wide receivers.
I like the Lee Hunter pick in round 2. Lee was a guy I targeted in my mocks. Like I like that Lee Hunter pick. I think Lee's gonna probably be a pretty quick starter on that team. So yeah, so really, so now you're saying for the Panthers, it is for the Bucks, it's the Todd Bowles. For the Panthers, it's
It's Bryce Young. I'm still
5'9" Bryce.
I don't. I stand by what I said. Don't think Bryce Young is a good quarterback. I stand by that. I have like they keep looking at me and saying, "Well, he had a good playoff game against the Rams," and I was like, "Yeah, but the Rams defense was not good. They were led by Matthew Stafford, and Matthew Stafford was blowing you out until he started fucking up. He let you back in that game, so it was really like a glass half full look. Yeah,
I still can't get over the fact that the Rams only took one defensive player.
Yeah. Same here.
Oh man.
I said before, what I told you, I said the Rams are gonna fuck up. I said the Rams are not gonna be looking good this year. I said that. I said this. I don't know if I didn't say they were gonna get Ty Simpson, but I thought they were gonna do something crazy in the draft.
You said that Ty Simpson would get somebody. I remember we had conversations about Ty.
I did say that.
I want that needs to get framed. When that happens, whenever the GM for the Rams gets fired or a McVay leaves, that needs to get framed.
Yeah, I literally will put that clip right here. Like Max said, whoever drafts Ty Simpson will get fired. Like I guarantee you.
And I'll allow the flexibility of if McVay retires, it's because of Ty Simpson.
It's because of Ty Simpson. Because it just makes zero sense. I was sitting there looking. I was like, wait, I don't. Because everybody looking at me like Ty Simpson's good. I was like, Ty Simpson is good because of the talent around him. And then
me and you are on the Ty Simpson hate train, and we might have egg on. I don't think we're gonna have egg on our face about that.
No.
Whenever that boy gets to play,
I looked at him. I was like, oh, he got all his talent in. I was like, well, look at the talent he had at Alabama. He had two. Like my theory, my problem was, I told him. That's why I told Dean, like, he does all this, he does all that. I was like, put on the Georgia Bulldog game, and put on the Georgia Bulldog game in Atlanta, and tell me what is the difference. The difference is he didn't have his full roster. He had his 2 running backs out. He still had his
So let's just play the game where he is the heir apparent to Matt Stafford, and when Matt retires, let's say Devontae Adams also retires, and then let's say Puka Nacua keeps fucking up. Where are the weapons going to be for Ty when Ty takes over? That's my thing. He's not going to have that same arsenal.
He's not. You want my honest opinion?
We were supposed to be
positive. I said this before. You want my honest opinion on what quarterback he will be when?
Yeah, let's hear it.
He is literally the thing that Sean McVay just got rid of. He's literally going to be that. He is going to be that. He's the one. The one that he sent out to the person that he sent out to Detroit. That's exactly what you're getting. You're getting that same quarterback. The same.
So I'll steer us a little back into the positivity before we end it. I did like the Bengals draft, by the way. I think the Bengals, of all the teams in the AFC North, I think have the most, like, this is, what was it? Joe Burrow put it on his Instagram. We got better. Like, every guy, I think every pick is going to be a significant pick, either immediately, and I'll briefly get into it. I think Dexter Lawrence is the best guy at his position, and I cannot remember the last time the Bengals on defense had the best guy at his position.
I'll admit this about the Cincinnati Bengals. When you first traded for Dexter Lawrence, I was sitting there thinking, this is a terrible trade. But then again, I thought to myself, I got to look at the draft before I start. I got to look at the end result before I make my decision. Then I looked at your draft, and I was like, okay, this is a great offseason for y'all.
Maybe in 5 years, if Ruben Baines is an all-pro, I'll be mad about it. But but here's the thing. Now, Mac, you know football. the Bengals 100. I don't know if the Bengals actually would take Ruben because this is their logic. Well, we've invested first round picks on edge in the last three draft, like two out of the last three drafts, the first round picks were edge, and so part of me thinks if the Bengals are still at 10, they don't take Baines because we've already invested in, which is not the right way to draft. Which I think is why I like the trade. The Bengals acknowledged we suck at drafting defense.
Yeah.
We typically whiff I'm sorry, Shamar Stewart, you still have time to prove me wrong, but like this is a team that struggles to evaluate talent. And when the Bengals went on their Super Bowl run and lost to the Rams, that was a defense built through free agency and trades.
Yeah, you're
like,
right.
This is not the last time. There's two guys that come to mind for like guys that the Bengals drafted that became great at their position. Geno Atkins, arguably the second best guy of his era, only to be overshadowed by Aaron Donald, and then Jesse Bates evolved into an all-pro safety. That's it. Every other defensive piece that I have like fallen in love with like over the years was guys that came in. So the Bengals as an organization don't evaluate defensive talent very well. So they have a quarterback who is about to is in his prime. So they don't have time to develop a Peter Woods, a Kevin Banks, a Ruben Baines, a Downs. They needed to make moves now. And the fact that it was only a single first round pick, I think, is great. Because then it just becomes okay, we drafted Dexter Lawrence with our first round pick. He's the best player in the draft. If we're looking at it, even at 28, Dexter Lawrence is the best guy in the draft. So I love Sexy Dexy, especially I've watched so much Sexy Dexy tape. He is everything you want out of that position because he takes double teams, triple teams. He makes everybody around him better. I think somebody's about to get a stupid contract because they're going to be playing edge next to Dexter Lawrence in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
go ahead, Matt.
You already know my theory, and my theory is staying tall. It's not no longer a theory; it's now a fact.
That interior pressure.
Yeah, you need interior pressure before I say interior is better than the exterior because you got interior, you can pay for lesser known guys on the outside than you pay for inside. Yep. So that's where you got to go. And now
he is a force multiplier. I think that was the comparison.
That's the thing. Yeah,
even that terrible Bengals linebacker core will get better because now they won't. Because Dexter Lawrence will at the very least do his job.
Yeah, and that's the issue.
The Bengals interior guys haven't been doing since DJ left. So, Buccaneers great draft. Bengals good off season. It's going to be weird, man. I don't know if I've been this optimistic about the Bengals. It's been a couple years, and I don't know the last time you were this optimistic for the Bucs.
I was optimistic last year, and look what happened.
But I think it's going to be a very interesting offseason moving forward. I can't wait to see guys getting on their teams. It's fun, man. The draft is over. Now it feels like we are only a couple months away from preseason football. So yeah, that's kind of why I love the draft because now it's like football's right around the corner.
Right. And the thing about this draft, I felt like this particular draft and everybody draft. I don't think, like I said, like you said, there are only a handful that you feel like this had, the NFC West is literally the only division that had a dog shit draft. But everybody else literally did a good job with their drafts,
especially in a weak draft class this year. I think we didn't even address that. This was a weird year.
There were certain areas.
Depending on the position group, there weren't any guys that were first 3-round worthy. That's my hot take. That if the NFL was normal, Mendoza's your first quarterback taken, and he's maybe the second round. College football's in a weird place with quarterback.
College football's in a weird place too. Yeah,
you are not sending pro-ready. College football is not sending pro-ready talent anymore.
No, not now. Not now.
It's weird. The fact that my friend Tom said this, and I'll end on this. Old man played for the Colts and played pretty well, and I'm old man with all them kids. Kurt freaking played for the Chargers forever. Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers played meaningful snaps last season and wasn't bad. Like, that's all you need to know about the state of college football and quarterback development right now.
Look, here's the thing about quarterback development. I feel like this year's draft in particular, where they were weak at was, in my honest opinion, they were weak at quarterback and edge rusher. They were weak at that quarterback and edge rusher, and I thought they were good at tackle, cornerback, wide receiver. I said this year was wide receiver draft was going to be very great. It's going to be a little deeper than what it was. I feel like running back was not good either. I think the
areas was after Jeremiah Love, it's a pit at running.
It's terrible. Nobody else is good. So I felt like this is the areas where they were weak at was the areas where you see your skill position players were weaker in this draft. The only skill position I thought that was actually deep was wide receiver. But other than wide receiver, it was not deep with ends. Tackle. Actually, in reality, tackle was deep this draft. This is a deep tackle draft. A lot of inside rushers were there was a deep pool of, and that's why people were probably talking about the Vikings, but the Vikings needed the best interior pass rusher and did. But I feel like that's what this class was deep at, those areas. And if you hit on your first round pick with a defensive end like Bucks and Bucks and Jets, you got your guy. And if you didn't, you kind of reached. And that's why the Dolphins, I felt like, reached, because that was a reach. Because you could have probably got him. You could have traded in and got him. And I promise you, there was a lot of people that were going to trade up and would have traded up to get a Ruben Bing. But I felt like this draft
was so
good.
Yeah. So that'll be it for Mac and I hope you guys have a lovely off season. We'll figure out the right time to come back because it's a little, it's trying to figure out like the right time to talk about football. But
next time we'll do this, we'll probably come out in, it's gonna come out in June-ish. So
something like that. It's gonna be a little bit of a minute because it's weird. It's like, what's to talk about what kind of football is there to talk about in May, guys? Let's be real.
There's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, there's a Jane Pierce situation, which is crazy, but
well, if we want to get into heavy topics like that, maybe. But I meant like just guys and practicing. It's like, they're all they're all in off-season programs right now.
And guys, I just want to let you know that we do. I'm going to say this right here, right now. I don't give a fuck about Mike Vrabel and Diane and Racine. I don't give a fuck about those two, and I'm not going to talk about those two. Let them two just do what they do. It doesn't fuck.
Just like the jokes. I'm here for all the jokes making fun of it. Like
but I don't care. You're looking for me.
I think jokes. No. Mike Vrabel is a lucky son of a bitch. He's literally employed by the only owner who can't say anything.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
he's employed by the only owner in this league who cannot go, Mike, you're a distraction for your affair with Diana. Because Mike only got to point to a fucking jerk-off massage parlor in Florida.
Hey, remember that time? Hey, remember this? Remember this? I was with you. Did we want to talk about that? Okay, shut up. All I did was...
All right, that's a great place to end it, on a joke about the Patriots owner. And
the Patriots owner is doing a jerk-off session in massage parlors. You want to talk about that?
Sorry, Pats fans. We had to get one on you. Yeah. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, that was good.